Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do a pretty look on my sister Megan using the new Naked Heat palette. I already primed her eyes and did her eyebrows, so we're going to get started with the shadows. I'm going to start with a big fluffy blending brush. This is Sigma. And we're gonna go in with the shade Sauced. I was really excited to use this palette on Megan because she's a redhead and I love really warm colors on her. They're so pretty. This is just my transition color, so I'm gonna do a pretty wide V with it, and I'm going to go down a little bit lower than I normally would because I'm going to clean that up with concealer after. And because her eyes are hooded and a little bit smaller, I want to extend the shadows a little bit wider than I normally would just to make her eyes look bigger. So I'm putting this in up actually fairly high just because her eyes are hooded. When she opens her eyes, I still want you to be able to see color. And since this one's fairly light, it's okay to go higher with it. As long as I'm not going all the way up to her brows, that would be weird. Okay, look at me. I was so excited when this palette came out because I love super warm shadows, and this has like all the shadows that I've collected from different various brands all in one. I have the Naked 3, the pink tone one, and I really love that one too, but I don't have the other ones. That one's actually really pretty on Megan too. She looks good in orangey colors and in pink colors. They look really good with her hair color and her eye color. She has hazel eyes. What do you like to wear, Megan?
I don't know. I really like pinks and like oranges and reds just because I feel like it brings out the little specks of green in my eyes. But I don't know. I like any kind of makeup you do.
Next I'm going to do this He Devil color. This one's a little bit darker. I want to stay with kind of like the rosier tones on her. I'm using the first one, kind of like a pinky tan. And this one is like a reddish, like a rust color. It's really pretty. I'm just going in the outer V again, but this time, since this color is a little bit darker, I'm keeping it down lower. And I picked up a smaller brush. This is the MAC 217. When I want my shadow to spread out really wide and cover a lot of lid space, I'll use a bigger one. And then when I go into the darker colors, I usually pick up a smaller brush so it doesn't spread out too far. Just blending as I go. Like when I come in with my color, I'll pack it on into that V and then I buff it out. And I usually stop right where the eyebrow arches is where I'll stop patting in the dark color, and then when there's not much left on my brush, I'll bring it in a little bit further. and wide. Open for me. Perfect. Look at me. Just making sure it's even. It's being out like I like. Okay, I love these colors on you. They're so pretty. They make your eyes look so green.
Oh.
Like they're all the way green right now. Her eyes are awesome. They change colors. Like sometimes they're really green, sometimes they're super hazel and you see more of the yellow. So I love doing her makeup so much. I'm gonna go in on her lid now with a sparkly color, one of the shimmers. So I'm looking for my MAC brush. This one's flat and the numbers are rubbed off. I don't even know what it is, but it's super flat and dense, so it'll pick up the sparkles. And we're gonna do this kind of peachy red color, and it has like little golden flecks. It's one of the lighter shimmery ones, so we're gonna keep this look fairly natural. So pretty. It's like almost like a rose gold. So when I go in with the shimmers, I put my brush in the middle of the lid first because that's where I want it to be the most pigmented. And then I just lightly feather it out, keeping it pretty close to the lash line. I feel like you need this palette in your life. I need to buy you this for being my little model.
Oh my gosh, I would love it. Palette is awesome.
I debated getting it. I never get stuff like right when it's released. I always wait because I have so much makeup. I'm like, I don't really need that, but it's worth it. Okay, so we have the color spread on her lid, but I want the middle to be really shiny. So I'm going to pick up more color on my brush and I'm going to spray it with MAC Fix Plus. I use water too, but I like this because it's a pretty fine mist. When you get the shadow wet, it makes it more intense. It almost looks more like metallic-y, which I like. So pretty. You can see when she closes her eyes, this one is a lot more reflective. And the other one's still really shiny. They're really sparkly shadows. It just is a little more intense. Sometimes it makes the colors a little bit darker too. So if you want to go for like a really bold look, turn your head a little bit more towards me. When you get your shadows wet, they'll be more intense. It can be a little bit harder to blend, so you want to only put it right where you need it once they're wet. So pretty. Open your eyes. So I really like the way that looks. This is like very soft, very romantic, but I think I'm going to make just her crease, go ahead and close this little V area a little bit darker because I'm not going to do heavy eyeliner on her today, so I want to smoke it out a little bit with the shadows. So I'm going to get a smaller, denser brush. This one's like a round, kind of like a pencil brush, but it is topped off, it's not pointy. And I'm going to go into that same He Devil color and just tap it right into that outer V. Sometimes I like to do this anyways after I do the shimmer on the lid because I like to just buff those colors together. They actually blend really nicely now, like I could be done, but I want to add a little bit more intensity. Pick up that 217, the fluffy blending brush I used earlier, and I'm going to buff out the corners. So I leave that intensity, but it's just blends a little bit more seamlessly into the shadows. Do you have this brush?
Yes.
Did I buy it for you? Okay, good. Like everyone needs this brush.
No, I love that brush. I use it for everything. Well, eyeshadow related.
Yeah. People use it with concealer too, like under eye concealer.
Really?
Yeah, it's not my favorite, but I would see them do that a lot at the matte counter.
Oh.
Like if they would try concealer on me, they would use this brush sometimes.
That's great.
Because it's goat hair, it absorbs some of the product so you don't get like a really heavy like blobs of makeup.
Smart.
Okay, I like the way that looks. I'm gonna look at it in camera and see. Close your eyes. Perfect. Okay. Spread the shadows around a little bit more. The lights are super, super bright, and so anything that's reflective, it totally picks up, so it looks not quite as blended in camera as it does in real life. Look at that again. Look at me. Look over this way a little. Good. Perfect. Okay, that's better. We are live. We go live every weekday at 7. So you guys will see everything I do. There's no editing out steps, no filters.
All natural.
All natural. Okay, I'm going to take this color Ounce, this really light color, and I'm going to highlight right under her brow bones. I actually love this color. We were playing with these shadows a little bit earlier, and it's really pretty. It's on the sheer side, so it just kind of looks like a wash of shimmer. Like it's not sparkly, but it's reflective. I really like that. I usually don't like shimmers under the brow, but this one's really soft. And then I always do a lighter color in the tear duct. Always makes the eyes look more open and bright. I'm just going to take my giant fluffy blending brush that had that sauced color on it and just blend those two colors together. And now I'm going to take a pencil brush. This one's by MAC. I think it's $2.19. And I'm going to take, let's do this one. It's kind of this like dark maroon. I don't even want to say the name. I'll say it wrong. What is that?
Oh my goodness. I don't want to say it.
I know. Well, I always pronounce it wrong.
Something French.
We're live. I can't edit it out.
Dang.
I'm just going to help you hold this. Oh. Thank you.
It really is such a pretty palette.
Yeah, these colors are so fun on you. And we're doing like, it's a wearable look, but it's on the more natural side, but you could get crazy. Some of those colors are awesome. I did went a little more intense on me. I'm wearing it too. Okay, I like the way that looks, but I want it to look a little darker, so I'm going to take a more dense flat brush. This one's a Sigma, it's E20, it's like a flat shader brush. So I'm going to mix that, and I'm going to mix Ashes. So I'm mixing these two. I'm going to push it into the lash line just to smoke it out, because I'm actually not going to do liner on her. She has lash extensions in, and they're so pretty. And we want to keep them looking nice, and sometimes when you add gel liner and stuff, it'll get stuck in the lashes. It's hard to wash off. Ashes is kind of more purple, that darker color. It's pretty.
It is pretty.
Like when you look at the palette, they kind of, like at first glance, almost look just red, like the gradient of reds, but they all have different tones. Like there's a lot you can do with it. I don't want it to look too purple, so I'm going over with that maroon color a little bit too.
It's crazy how different they look on you than they do in the palette as well. Like.
Yeah, they don't go on super heavy. Urban Decay shadows, they're pigmented, they're good shadows, but I found that they go on like a little bit more sheer, like you need to build them, which I actually like. Like when I do makeup lessons and stuff, I always have like, especially my younger clients, get the naked palettes, because you can't, it's harder to mess up. Like you can build to any color you want, but it's not going to be crazy the second you touch it to your skin. Okay, open and look at me. So pretty. Look how green her eyes look. I love it. Okay, we're going to do her face makeup, her under eye concealer, and then I'm going to finish the eyes. I always do the under eye concealer before I do the shadow underneath and before I do mascara too. So we're going to do that really quick. Just gonna mix up her shades. She's actually fairly tan right now, so I'm gonna do something with like a little bit of a yellow undertone. Cancel out some of that redness too in her face. Mixing it. I have like this little plastic egg crate thing, and it is awesome for foundations. Sometimes I'll do it on the back of my hand to warm it up, but it gets kind of messy. So I really like to use this. I found it's better. I have like those flat metal stainless steel palettes too that I mix makeup on, but foundation just slides off and it is messy. So I really like these. Hang on, I'm gonna fix your clip.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Megan is a runner. She's like my polar opposite. She's like the tomboy. I'm like the girly girl. She's awesome. She always lets me do her makeup.
Oh, it's always so fun. You're an awesome makeup artist.
So cute. I did her makeup. We did like a little photo shoot when I was visiting. She lives in Utah when I was visiting for Christmas. And we did it in the morning and she had to go to like track practice right after. And we went like glam. Like,
it was like
crazy. It was dark. Amazing. And she totally wore it. She rocked it. Right? Did you
I wore it to practice. I was like late and I like had a face full of makeup. It was awesome.
That's awesome. And she doesn't really wear it. She doesn't need makeup. She's like perfect, but she doesn't wear much. So I'm sure your teammates thought it was awesome.
Well, they were like, oh my gosh. My coach even was like caught off guard. You scared me. I didn't know you were. But like it did look really good. It wasn't scary makeup. I just never wear that much.
It's beautiful. It's on my Instagram. My Instagram is Julie Christine Beauty. It's like, if you scroll down, she's wearing a red dress and a flower crown. And she looks beautiful. In photos, it's crazy how things photograph. Like, it doesn't look, we did like a maroon lid and a maroon lip, and it definitely like looks like you're wearing makeup, but it doesn't look as crazy as it did in real life. Not crazy, just looked like you were wearing makeup.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people carry a little bit of redness right in this area, so I do usually blend foundation down their chest depending on what we're doing. If it's in studio and they're getting like their photos done, I definitely always do, because I want the light to reflect the same off their neck as it does their face.
What about brides? Do their neck
brides, I usually do. It depends. I always ask them like the neckline of their dress and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But usually people have like a lot of different coloring from sun damage, but if my brides get spray tans, then they're more even and I don't have to. But I do like to bronze it up. Like, I like to make the collarbones pop and stuff like that, so I usually will like do something.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to have like a totally glam face.
I know.
Gotta glam everything.
So true.
Everything you see. Depends on how they do their hair too. If it's all up, then you do more.
Mm-hmm.
Weddings are fun. Megan is an amazing makeup artist. Even though she doesn't wear it, she assists me on weddings. She's so good.
Not as good as Julie though. She's the pro.
She did. For my wedding, she did like a couple of my bridesmaids. Everyone wanted me to do their makeup. I'm like, guys, I am getting married. And we got married super early too. I'm like, no.
I just can't help but ask. You're just so good. I don't want to go to anyone else. I still to this day will not pluck my own brows because Julie does such a good job.
She really doesn't. It's so adorable. And we live in different states. I'm in California, she's in Utah, and she'll go like months. Like,
I really will.
But your brows hold their shape pretty well. Like, even when you haven't plucked them and stuff for a while, like, you're fine. Okay, so I did a pretty sheer, like a medium coverage wash on her. I like her freckles to show through. I don't want her to look too full coverage, especially because she usually is so natural. Anyways, we're gonna do the under eye concealer next. Your under eye area is really smooth today.
Oh, thank you.
It's like nice.
Under
ice cubes did the trick. So holding ice cubes under her eyes earlier. You drink lots of water.
I try to, it helps.
Can you tell a difference?
Like when I run every day and I drink like loads of water, they're like not even that bad. But when I forget, they get like really puffy.
Look up for me. They don't get really puffy, but that's cool.
Good to go.
Okay, now I'm gonna take a little bit of the concealer and I'm just gonna sculpt a little bit of a line into that shadow. Because the shadow, you can either lift the eyes with the shadow or you can drag the face down. If I have a lot of shadow down here, it's gonna make her eyes look droopy, look heavy. So we wanna lift it. Look at me. I'm gonna lift it a little bit more. So I usually draw a line from like the bottom of her eye. You can use a brush. Straight up. Yeah, it's pretty. And then I'll buff it a little bit with the brush. Depends on the look you're doing, like how sharp you'll want to leave this line. If you're doing like a really bold winged liner, a really bold any look, you can leave it really sharp like this. But since we're kind of doing a more blended look, I'm gonna buff it out a little bit. These are my favorite concealer brushes. They're like flat. I think they're Morphe. And I bought them like so long ago at a hair show before Morphe was like a big brand. And their stuff is good. Cool. I'm going to powder her just a little bit with Laura Mercier translucent powder just because these lights are so bright. They are very reflective, like on this foundation. This foundation's probably like a satin finish. Like it's not super dewy or anything, but these lights are so bright they just reflect off anything. So I'm gonna powder her a little bit and then I'm gonna add highlighter. I actually usually don't like to powder a ton. I don't like things to look too cakey. I'd rather use like a setting spray and hardly powder at all to get things to hold. Look up. Especially the under the eyes. Like you don't want your concealer to be creasing, but I found that if you add a lot of powder there, it just settles into any lines. It looks more textured. So it depends on people's skin. If people have a lot of texture under their eyes or fine lines, I don't like to powder a lot. Some people have a really smooth under eye area. Hers is really smooth, then you can totally bake away with powder. Cool. Now we're gonna do some shadow under the eyes and then finish her face. Do some bronzer and some blush and some lips. So let's go in, let's start light and build. Let's start with Sauced again. So this was the same transition color that we did at the very beginning, the first thing we put on her crease. So this is that same really rounded pencil brush. Just gonna buff it in. That's pretty, I actually really like that. I usually like to do lighter colors under the eyes. I feel like it opens them up a little bit more. The darker you go, the more closed it is. I am going to take this darker maroon color in my tiny little shader brush. Go ahead and look up and just pack it right against her lash line on the outside edge. Just give her eyes a little bit of definition, but I'm not bringing it all the way in, and I'm not spreading it out too much because I don't want her eyes to look small, and I don't want this look to look too heavy. Almost just like wiggling it right between the lashes. Alrighty, okay, let's do some mascara. We are not doing waterproof mascara because of her lash extensions. I'm gonna do L'Oreal Voluminous.
I like the little wiggly do. Cute.
Gotta get the edges. So I stick it all the way in, I'll get mascara all over my fingers.
Smart.
Okay. Look down a little bit, yeah. Perfect. So long, what size did you do?
I don't know. She matched my eyelashes. I think they're like 13s.
13 millimeters. Okay, your own lashes are so long. Like most people's lashes are like a 9.
Thank you.
You're beautiful. Megan is like the queen of mascara. Like her lashes are literally so, they are this long as her extensions. And she spends like 10 minutes on her mascara, but it looks amazing. I should have you go live and do like a mascara demo.
Oh, it gets all over. I use Q-tips and like lotion to wipe it off my lids because anytime I open it and I have mascara on, if it's still wet, it'll get like on my lids because I touch them.
That is the worst. Especially if you do go ahead and look up eyeshadow and you get mascara on it.
Oh my gosh.
I jinx myself to get mascara now. She doesn't usually wear eyeshadow though. She's like a mascara and brows girl. Do you do brows?
Brows and mascara.
Her skin is literally so perfect. Like if you don't need it, I'm all for like people not wearing foundation. No one needs it, but
well,
if
the
you
thing
want
is,
coverage.
like, normally I run like twice a day or I exercise so many times it's just like not even worth it to do a lot of makeup.
That's true. I just like the lower lashes to have like a wash of color mascara. I'm not going super thick on them. So I usually will do the top lashes first, get those nice and black, and then when there's not much left on my brush, I just kind of go through those. I think it makes a difference. It just defines your eyes a little bit, but this look is very soft. Like we didn't do liner. It's very diffused, so I don't want to do harsh lashes. I probably would. She's like probably a week away from getting a fill with her lashes. I probably would go in for like a fuller lash that's like thick at the base just to darken up this look, but we're gonna leave her lashes like that. Okay, I'm gonna go in with some bronzer and just give some color to the edge of her face. I'm not really gonna contour. I'm not gonna contour her nose. I'm not gonna do a lot, but I am gonna go just around the perimeter of the face and give her a little bit of a bronze, teeny bit of a contour, I guess, so you don't look flat. And I just pack it in right to the hairline. We're gonna do like the 3. We're gonna go across her forehead, under her cheeks, maybe under the jaw. Haven't decided. I'm not sure.
Does that just make your face like stand out more?
Yeah, I feel like when you do like a medium or full coverage foundation, everything looks so flat. Like you want to put shape back in the face. And people like it. Contouring is super trendy right now and stuff like that. So people like can do a lot with it. You can go crazy and totally change the face, but I just like to warm it up a little bit. I usually like, if I do like a heavy contour, I want something with more of like a very neutral tone. You don't want warmer or bronzy colors, but
it's good to know.
Sometimes for this, I like to, I feel like on camera it looks good if you just warm it up a little bit. So this is a very, very warm look too. Like your eyes are so like red and pink that it looks good if you have warmth in your face too. Because otherwise it's almost like not balanced.
Yeah.
Like
Very bizarre looking.
Yes, okay. Now we're gonna do blush. We're gonna do Peaches by MAC. What is this brush too? This is a Sigma F40. Peaches are a really pretty color. It's like very orange in the pan, but it goes on very peachy. Just kind of like, you have to be careful with it though, it's pretty pigmented. So I just go in soft. In the first place my brush is gonna hit her face is where I want the most color. So just lightly tap it in and then I'm just kind of buffing around it because I don't want a big blob of color. And on Megan, I like the blush a little bit higher, like a little bit higher than her apples of her cheeks.
Does it lift your face?
It lifts it a little bit. It kind of blends into like the bronzy cheek contour I did too, if you set it right on top. Because I almost just want all of your face to just kind of have like a warm, glowy look. And if I put the blush right here, it's going to blend into the highlighter a little bit too. I'm going to do like a fun, like coppery highlighter.
Yeah.
Pretty. Okay, I'm going to use the Anastasia Glow Kit with this fluffy brush. This is a Nicole Guerrero.
This kit is so pretty.
It is pretty. It has really fun colors. So we're going to do Daydream. It's like very peachy, very orangey. We're going to go right on the high points of her cheekbones. And I like to do like the C, like kind of meeting her eyebrow and coming down and stopping about right there. That's where I get most of the color, like most of the pigment, but then I buff it out.
Is that just with the highlighter or like with blush and stuff too?
With the highlighter. And because this is like, it's definitely a peachy color. It's light, like it melts into the skin, but because it does have peach in it, I kind of just set it right on top of that blush and then I'll buff it out. I usually mix highlighters. Like, I mix everything. I can't ever just do like one color, but I am gonna just try to stick to this peach one. I might add a little bit of the lighter one. This white color is crazy. Like, it is like complete glow.
Oh,
Like
awesome.
it blends into the skin. It doesn't look white, but it looks very bright. If you like that wet highlighter look, it does that. It's really pretty. Do a little bit of your lip. I'm gonna look at that in camera. Pretty. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of the white into the orange. Why not?
I always feel like I need to close my eyes whenever they bring a brush to my face. Like I can't help but close them.
You can. You're welcome to close. It's the safe bet.
It's like the dentist too. I never know if I should keep my eyes closed or like look at the ceiling. I don't know where to look.
You'll have to ask Rick.
I know, it's true.
My husband's a dentist. They told me, I think it was cosmetology school. They don't really teach you makeup. I'm a cosmetologist, but they have one chapter. Like you spend one day for like 2 hours, and we didn't do makeup, but like we read the makeup part of the book, and they say when you come in with a brush to like touch with your finger first, so that they know like where the brush is gonna come, so they don't get like nervous. I forgot about that.
Because it is scary sometimes when people just like come on strong.
Just they come straight at you, yeah. You never know. Okay, so when we were talking about this look, we like had the biggest dilemma. We were gonna do either like a really bold, kind of rosy, fiery lip, or go more neutral, and we decided to go more neutral. So this one's Anastasia Pure Hollywood, and we're gonna do something on top and make it a little more warm, but we're gonna do this as our base. This color is so pretty. Like this looks good on everybody. I just got it. I had seen a ton of people were buying it and wearing it for the longest time, but I thought it would be a little too light, but I really like it. A little more. I'm such like a blender when it comes to lips. Like I usually get my base color on and then I go around it and sharpen it up with like a flat concealer brush, and then I mix it some more. But when you do liquid lips, you cannot do that. It will dry. So actually I don't use liquid lips much on my clients, if at all, but it's great. Like it's great for long wear. Like it's good for brides and stuff like that. Now I do more photo shoots than brides, so for photo shoots we're like switching the lip color and adding to it and stuff like that, so I like something I can play with and take off easier, but these are really good for brides. Or like events. Before we started, I put like a lip balm on Megan to hydrate her lips a little bit. If you have drier lips, but you want to wear the liquid lips, it helps if you put like a really creamy lip liner all over your lip first with your teeth. So yeah. Open. And definitely exfoliate. She didn't need it, I didn't exfoliate her, but I always keep like a lip exfoliant in my kit. And usually what I'll do, like my routine is to like obviously talk to the client about what they want and stuff like that, but before I start their eyes, I hydrate their skin and I exfoliate their lips and then put like a lip balm on them. And then while I work on their eyes, all of that hydration can sink in. My arms are like so shaky. We did the craziest arm workout this morning. And usually I'm more sore like day 2. Like if I'm sore now and shaky, it's like bad news tomorrow. Like I'm not even gonna be able to pick up my dogs.
Oh my gosh. No, I like, my arms, I can barely move them after. It was crazy. It's a good one.
It was a good one. Megan is strong. Like I look over and she has like these giant weights. Okay, show me up, that's fine. Okay, look your teeth. This one. I am gonna clean it up a little bit with concealer around the edges. You have to be careful with the liquid lip because sometimes it just looks like chalky. It doesn't really blend. Still on your lip. Turn and look to me. Sorry. Open. Yeah. Show your teeth a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
Look. Close. I'm going to clean that up a little bit more and then we're going to put on the gloss. I just got like the prettiest lip gloss ever. It's Anastasia and it's called Lovely. And it has like peachy, gold, and pink like little sparkles in it, like little reflective pigments. And it looks so pretty on top of lip gloss. Yeah, it's super pretty, and it's almost like, it's like a pinky orange kind of, and it's really pretty over this lip with this eye, because it almost matches, go ahead and close it, almost matches that color like on her lid.
It's crazy to me how good it smells. I guess like it tastes good.
Yeah, it does. Does it smell like cupcakes?
Mm-hmm.
It does smell
delicious.
good. The liquid lips doesn't smell like this. I wonder if it's just, this is the only lip gloss right here I have. I actually really like the gloss over the liquid lips. I feel like it keeps your lips a little bit hydrated and it doesn't wear away. Like I never would put gloss on top because I thought it would kind of eat away at the liquid lip, but it doesn't. Open. I just got this lip brush and I think it's good for putting it on, but I think it's a little bit too wide. Near your teeth. That's not good. Yeah, it's pretty. It just warms up this lip a little bit because this is kind of more of a neutral lip color, the Pure Hollywood. I feel like it kind of takes on whatever the look is. Like if I wear really neutral browns, it looks more brown, but if I wear like more pinky colors, it looks more pink. This color, like it's a neutral, but it's like a little bit of rosiness in there. Yeah, the lip gloss is like very pink, very peachy. glossy for sure, but it's not crazy. It's gonna look extra glossy in camera because these lights are so bright, but it's very wearable. Okay, I'm gonna look at it in camera. See if you need more blush. A little bit more blush and then we're done. And I'll take your hair out. We'll see the final finished look.
I'm excited.
I don't like a ton of blush usually, but the lights are so bright in here. And when you go so crazy with the eyes, like so bold, I like to balance it out. And there is the final beautiful bronzy look for my red-headed maid. Look here for me. Perfect. There it is. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope it was fun. We're live every weekday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.